Hi, I'm Nikki, and many of you are probably wondering why all of a sudden I'm doing all of these bath bombs. And I just kind of wanted to introduce myself for some of you that actually don't even know me or have ever met me. And then there's many of you that do know me, that you know me from high school. We grew up together, we lived in town together, and or part of my life, a client, a member of the family, whatever. And so, the past several years, probably a good 15 years, I've battled with a lot of different things in my life that have molded me to where I am today and given me the wisdom of my life experiences, and not all good. And I've been on quite a journey, and I think we all have, not only me, but everybody has their journey. Everybody has a story. Everybody has their life, and it's what we bring to our life that brings us down the paths that we go down and the choices that we make in our life. And I, over the last 8 years, I have battled with my health. Tremendously. Unfortunately, we had a traumatic incident where I lost a child during the middle of childbirth, and from that point on is when my health was it was declining and declining, and I was going to Dana-Farber for 8 years, which last year I was released, and throughout that process, I had a really tough time because our house had flooded, and I was subjected to some pretty serious toxic mold, and it affected me mentally, physically, and then with all of that goes along emotionally, especially going through trauma and then losing our home, and we had to move out with our children, and we didn't even have beds to sleep on. We slept at a school and lived there for 6 months. So we've gone through some really deep times in the last 10 years, and through that, becoming ill and having an autoimmune deficiency and all of those issues that go along with long-term illness, and the effects of mold. A lot of doctors in conventional medicine, they don't believe mold can live in your body. There's no test for it. Unless you go to somebody who is specifically, that is how they work. They work on mold toxicity, and they know the ins and outs. They know Dr. Shoemaker has written beautiful, world-renowned books, and also Dennis over at Hawkinton Drug. He is a compounding pharmacist, and he also is extremely knowledgeable and has written a lot of information with Dr. Shoemaker. And it's those two that have helped me into the direction and finding care and finding doctors that can test you and can figure out what molds are in your body. I've experienced about 8 surgeries in the past 8 years. Some of which were, one was an injury, which was my hip. So after I had my 4th child, I ended up having hip surgery, and I do still have arthritis in my hip. So that's something that's, a lifelong battle that I'll have to deal with. And then 6 months after that, I ended up finding out that I needed to have a full hysterectomy. And with that, mold, it can produce tumors and cancer and respiratory issues, and I've had full sinus surgery to open up the sinus passages. If I didn't have the surgery, I was facing meningitis and potential death. So that was a really scary one, extremely painful. And, we go through all these things just continually, one after another, and through all of that, I had a huge learning experience because of the loss of a loved one due to addiction, and And I feared that. I was terrified by that with the doctors, you know, them wanting, oh, you need to take this pain med, you need to take this, and you need this steroid, and you need this inhaler, and you need this, you know, anti-inflammatory, and you need, and just overstimulating the adrenal gland and overstimulating the body. And with the mold at one point, for 9 months, I had massive hives all over my body, and they would go on my feet, the palms of my hands, on my face. My lips would swell. So, you know, we've all, or maybe you haven't, gone through an extreme health issue. But I have. And before that, I was a very healthy person. I was an intense mountain biker, an extremist. I needed the adrenaline, the endorphins, you know, it's what thrived me. I loved being extremely athletic and healthy, and going through this and not having that quality of life that I used to have, it shapes you. It's tough. It's a battle, and then you have children, and that takes away from personal care and self-care, and you know, because you want to put everybody before you, and you put your spouse before you, and things like that. And you know, when we go through this, it's almost like a do or die. Like that road's got a Y in it, you know, and either you're going to go down the path where it's going to be a dead end with taking all kinds of opioids and things like that, and getting into an addictive situation that our country right now is really battling, which is so sad because there's so many beautiful souls in this world that are just lost and they're addicted, and there is no help. There's no, you know, we don't set them up for care. It's you know, it's a tough situation that we're in right now, or people like myself, it's terrifying. So we're terrified to take that pill. What is it going to do to me? What's the side effects? I already have a million side effects from what's going on with the illness. I can't even think about having another issue on top of the ones that I already have. And so I've gone through all different types of modalities where I've gone to learn how to cook at Kushi Institute. I've gone to out to Kripalu for different retreats on self-nurturance and holistic healing and yoga and eating healthy and body, mind, spirit and meditation. I've gone to all different types of massage therapists. Shiatsu, I've gone into full body vibration, which some people would think, oh my God, it's your whole body is vibrating, and somebody would think that it was like an exorcism. It was quite interesting. I do have to say it was a very healing, very, very healing. That man was very gifted, and I was grounded, and I was connected to the earth, and it was one of the most beautiful experiences in my healing process. That was one of those powerful, powerful moments. And I've done where I go to body fascia aligning, which is a very painful, but my body has had multiple surgeries, and your body holds things. And so sometimes when you're trying to heal and you're trying to move forward, you feel like you're plateauing, and all of a sudden you can't get past it. You never feel like you're moving to the next level. And so that one was really also very powerful. I still go. I don't go all the time because I go when I feel like I need to be pushed to the next level in my body healing. I love yoga. I love power hot yoga, not as competing, but just taking it to the mat and sweating and secreting, and the room is warm, and where I have some, different ailments in my body and old injuries. I find that that's really beneficial because the warmth of the room, my muscles can just relax much easier. My joints are able to flex much deeper. So that's another one that I really, really love. But for years, I owned the spa for 12 years, and through all of that, I was constantly educating myself, constantly I used to go to New York all the time. I got my master's with Reposage, which is all seaweed-based products. So I'm a huge fan of seaweed-based. I'm a huge fan of, natural plant-based, knowing something about all different types of what we call diets, which really aren't a diet. It's a healthy way of eating and what's correct and what's right for your body. Right now, I feel like our country, there's like some mad crazy thing going on where everybody is gluten-free because they're having gluten intolerances, which is another issue. And I really feel like there's a big connection between the herbicides and the pesticides, and the bees aren't pollinating properly because then they pollinate on something that has been sprayed with all these chemicals, and then they lose their ability cognitively to find their direction and their way back to their hive, and that's why they're dying off. My husband and I have taken a beekeeping class. And so years ago when I got sick, we're like little homesteaders. We have a little farm. We have chickens, we've raised turkeys, goats, pigs, and bringing food to table. We try to be as organic as we possibly can. It's so expensive, which is ridiculous because there's less processing, so go figure. So there's a lot of different avenues that I've taken my life to where I am today. And when I owned the spa, there was so many clients that I worked with massage and then body treatments, body wraps, and really helping through that detoxification process. I have a very dear friend who was 780 pounds, and I got him down to 465 pounds before they would do the first surgery, removing skin. And that was all through massage, body treatments, body wraps, and the hydrotherapy tub. So detoxing is so important, not only just to detox the skin on all the different layers of the tissue, but cellularly, internally, through the lymph, through the circulatory system, through the respiratory system, the things that we breathe in. There's so many different filters in our body, our lungs, our kidney, our liver. Those things are so taxed. And then if you have an autoimmune deficiency, your adrenal gland is attached to your kidneys. And that's not even functioning correctly. So how is your kidney functioning correctly? We're constantly taxing ourselves with what we're exposed to, which is frightening. And the rate of cancer increase around us is alarming. I could name 10 children's name like that. And it's sad, it's scary, it's frightening, especially for somebody like myself who got ill and they know that mold can cause cancer. This past Monday, on that Cyber Monday, I'm here to tell you, it was a very stressful day. I'm trying to market my business. I'm trying to introduce these things to clients and take everybody to the next level and make people mindfully aware as to what's going on and how we can do little simple things to just eradicate things out of our body to see, is it making me feel better? Is my joints flexible without pain? Am I getting less headaches? Am I feeling less stressed? Am I able to breathe better and get a fuller breath of air and feel like my air quality is better? Are my sinuses clearer? I just this past year, after 8 years of never being able to smell anything unless it's extremely harsh chemical, like a gas station and things like that, I had no sense of smell. It wasn't until doing these bath bombs that I can smell. Some things I don't really want to smell, but but I can smell. For the last several years, I've been telling people and, sharing with them about my vision. I've been wearing glasses because not only am I getting older in my mid-40s, and yes, your vision is the first thing that goes besides the gray hair, but I had this blurred vision over my eyes that is so hard to explain because it would feel like something was like literally a film over my eyes. Numerous eye exams, them telling me, no, you've got 20/20, you might want to wear cheaters. It's like, really? Explain this to me, because when I'm looking, there's not a clear lens. So, with mold, that's another side effect. And I didn't want to jinx myself. I didn't say anything to my husband about my vision for probably at least 2 months because I wanted to make sure it was true, that I wasn't just suddenly having a good day from all the detoxing. It's taken a while. It took about 6 months. But I'm here to tell you, I can see. Yes, some of the fonts are still an issue, and I think that's just an eye aging process. Unfortunately, it is what it is, but I'll do it gracefully. I'll find some fun specs. But, we look at all these different things and we make up excuses too. Like we're like, oh, well, the kids had me up late last night, or, I have been stressed out. We make all these different little excuses, and sometimes we don't tie all of the pieces of the puzzle together as to what's really going on with our body. And so, that's why I've designed these specific kits that are 6 to a pack. They hit on several different functions of the body purposefully so we can target different areas to calm and bring that homeostasis back into the body. So you can start recognizing, okay, even though I'm having pain, is it inflammation, or is it arthritic, or is it that I need to detox because I've got something in my body that hasn't been able to detox on its own through the whole filtering process of the organs? So something's trapped and it's causing inflammation in your joints. It's causing pain, or it's causing headaches, or it's causing shortness of breath, or it's causing constipation. A lot of people don't like to talk about the digestive process because it's embarrassing, it's awkward, it's like, oh God, it's like the time that I went for my digestion and, the gentleman looked like he stepped out of a GQ magazine, and I'm like looking at him mortified, like, I really don't want to pull my pants down in front of you. Like, I'm horrified right now. I'm so embarrassed. Nor do I even want to talk about the process, right? I mean, seriously. But we're human. It's part of our function. It's life. It's, we eat and we eliminate. So that's another thing that, people aren't realizing, that a lot of the different medications that we're taking slow the process down. And especially even women that are pregnant, that system slows down. So constipation is a huge one. I mean, you listen to these commercials of medications on TV, and it's like the list of side effects is horrifying, and we start to see in our society people with this barreled look. And a lot of that barreling is because of toxicities, and the body functions aren't processing the way they're supposed to. Women in general, we tend to be more, we hold a lot in the stomach because we're more emotional. We have children. We run 100,000 miles an hour and try to solve everything and take care of our families. And we don't allow ourselves the time to go into the bathroom. I watched a really funny video on Facebook the other day that I was dying laughing about a mom sitting on the toilet and not going to the bathroom, and 50 million people walking in and out of the bathroom. And she's like, can you shut the door, please? It's like, yeah, right? So, so we talk about that, and you think about, if your body's not eliminating things properly, what's happening to all of that toxicity that's in your body if you're not eliminating it? Where is it going? It's going into the walls of the digestive tract. It's seeping into the abdomen. It's affecting other functions of the body. Once again, those filtering organs that are trying to filter all of this junk that is trapped in us. And so, like I said, each kit, I want to do like another video of each kit and talk about each one and the breakdown, and working on the digestive system, especially when it comes to anybody that has autoimmune deficiencies, or has been through a lot of trauma with surgeries and things like that. And then we have the big topic of cancer and Lyme. Lyme is a huge epidemic. And we're finding out, that it's doing a lot of damage to the digestive system. I know many people, many clients that suffer with the opposite of constipation, and they have diarrhea, and they've not had a solid bowel movement in months, years. And it's scary. It's sad. It's something that, we need to start bridging this gap of convention and alternative, and bridging together. How can we take these two beautiful modalities of, knowing the body on a scientific perspective, but what can we use that is more healthier and beneficial, that this beautiful earth was created with, to mold together to heal us? We were all put here for a reason. Every plant, every cell, every living organism is here for a reason. But yet we put chemicals that are man-made into us. It's tough. It's a tough, when do we use it? When do we don't? I know. I mean, Dana-Farber's kept me alive. So believe me, and I do my judicial duties to give back, and involve myself with, the PMC and all of that sort of stuff, because, oh yeah, science is there for a reason. We were built with these brains for a reason, and we were also built with this planet for a reason, to utilize what's on it. And so, it's one of those things of being able to beautifully, combine them and to help people and help heal people, and to get them off of the meds, get them, with a better quality of life and a better healing, and to be able to get back to who they were. There's so many times I miss the old me. I miss that part of my life, and it saddens me deeply. It's something that I struggle with. I will probably always struggle with. But every day I get up, and thank God I have my beautiful kids, because that keeps me going. And thank God that I believe, and I'm here for a reason. I'm here to give back. And if there's one person that I can change their life and make a difference and give them a better quality, and they can just go back to school, or follow a dream that they always hope for, or be able to have children, or be able to sleep at night, be able to heal and move on, then that's a mission to me. That's what I'm here for. To heal me, to be the best mom I can, to be the best wife I can, and to be the best healer that I can, and to give back.